Yo, what's up, guys? And just like that, the 24-25 season for the Dallas Cowboys comes to an end, losing their last game of the season to the Washington Commanders 23-19. Now, guys, obviously we knew the Cowboys had nothing to play for in this game. They had already been mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. The Commanders had a little bit more to play for. They were playing for seeding, but they needed a little bit help from the Bears. So the Commanders had a little bit more to play for in this game. But I have to say, guys, the Cowboys' defense, they were really solid in that first half. They only gave up 3 points to the Commanders in that first half. They gave Jaden Daniels some trouble in that first half. Micah Parsons got to him early, especially in that first drive of the game for the Commanders. Parsons sacks him twice. Micah Parsons now, guys, is one of only 4 players to have 10 sacks, guys, in his first 4 seasons in the NFL. Very incredible stat by Micah Parsons, but unfortunately for Micah Parsons, those are not the type of stats we want him to break. We want him to do that type of shit in the playoffs, of course, but obviously it's a great statistic, and it obviously shows what a great and impactful player Micah Parsons can be for this Dallas Cowboys defense. But of course, these are the type of games we don't want Micah Parsons to be a major impact in. We want it to be a major impact in the playoffs, of course. But unfortunately, guys, the Cowboys are not going to be going there this year. They finish off with a record of 7-10. This game here, guys, like I said, the Cowboys played okay in this game. Trey Lance started his first game of the year. Of course, they didn't play Cooper Rush. Trey Lance played okay. He wasn't horrendous. But you could see at times in this game, guys, Trey Lance, he didn't look confident, not throwing the football when he had to. He had that one play to Rico Dowdle wide open in the end zone. Unfortunately, underthrows him. I'm thinking, holy shit, man. You got to hit him on those plays. They're wide open throws, guys. And the Cowboys really ate up the clock a lot of times. They had about 4 or 5 drives that were like 14-plus plays. It was like, holy shit. It was like, damn, the Cowboys were really eating up some clock. But obviously, a lot of problems that the Cowboys had this year was in the red zone. Of course, one of the worst teams in the league in the red zone, guys. Brandon Aubrey kicking field goal after field goal. Cowboys not converting on touchdowns. Just the same old song and dance this entire year, of course. It's been one of those years, guys. Very frustrating year for the Cowboys. Of course, we've had so many problems this year. And this game here, guys, was another example of what we've been dealing with all year. Like I said, the Cowboys were playing well defensively, but then, of course, near the end of the game, Cowboys break down, give up some points, let Washington go and score a last-minute driving touchdown there. Mariota, they had him deep on a 3rd down, and he runs for an 18-yard run, guys, giving the Commanders more downs. And I'm like, you know what? They were due to lose this game, and then you saw him make that last throw at the end to McLaurin there to win the game. And like I said, guys, in past videos, it's a major benefit the Cowboys lost this game because, like I said, they're not going to have lower than the 12th overall pick in this year's draft. And I really wanted the Cowboys to draft Ashton Genty out of Boise State. So that is something very valuable that the Cowboys lost this game. Now, the Cowboys could have lost more games, but they rallied together, won 4 of their last 5 before they lost these last 2 games to the Eagles and the Commanders. And that Eagle game was an absolute embarrassment. My God, 41-7 like that. They got absolutely walloped in that game. It was an absolute embarrassing performance by the Dallas Cowboys. I didn't even bother making a video about that game because what was the point, honestly? The Eagles played with a backup quarterback and destroyed the Cowboys with their backup quarterback. It's pretty self-explanatory how that game ended up going on, right, guys? But like I said, I thought Trey Lance in this game, he played okay, not confident at some points. The guy doesn't use it. The guy uses his legs too much at sometimes. Doesn't use them at the right moments. Makes too many mistakes. He's going to be a free agent at the end of this year, so it doesn't seem like he's going to be a Cowboy after this year, guys. And another guy who possibly will not be a Cowboy at the end of this year is Mike McCarthy, of course. Now his contract expires on January 14th, guys. We're going to find out very quickly about what happens with Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys. Will he be staying? Will he be going? That's going to be the $100 million question for the Dallas Cowboys, of course, because, I've been wanting the Cowboys to make a coaching change since last year when they got embarrassed by the Packers on home field, guys. So if the Cowboys do move on, I think it's the right decision. If they keep him, then you just know Jerry Jones is not satisfied with the coaching hires out there, of course. Somebody out there is not a puppet enough for them to be hired by the Dallas Cowboys, and he's just going to continue with Mike McCarthy. But it does sound like that the Cowboys are leaning more into the direction of a new change of coach because they haven't really said much about Mike McCarthy's future. Now, Jerry Jones had a few things to say about it, like they're going to evaluate some things, all this stuff. You did see Mike McCarthy shaking every one of his coaching staff's hands after the last game of the year, of course. So that doesn't happen very often, guys, unless the coach knows that he's going to be giving his walking papers out the door. So we'll see what happens, because very soon we will find out what the Dallas Cowboys are going to be doing moving forward. But guys, this was one of the most frustrating seasons I have dealt with as a Cowboys fan, I have to say, because the NFC guys, Cowboys had a possibility of making some moves this offseason. They didn't do anything. They could have improved the team. Jerry Jones didn't do nothing. He thought they were going to be better internally. Then we lose Dak halfway through the season with that torn growing. We lost Micah for 5 weeks with that ankle injury. The Cowboys players were dropping like flies this year, guys, compared to last year. The Cowboys were very healthy last year compared to this year. My God, complete difference from the last 2 seasons, guys. Like, it was absolutely unwatchable at times this year. Like, we didn't have Deron Bland for half the season. We lose Diggs again. It was like anytime somebody came back, somebody got hurt. Zach Martin got hurt multiple times. Multiple guys on the O-line were getting hurt. It was like one of those years, guys, where you just have to chalk it up and be like, it's not our year. But for us Cowboy fans, it's been 29 years of it being not our year, of course. So it's getting more and more frustrating every year. Oh, and Jerry Jones also said, yeah, he's not going to relinquish his GM title. Whoa, shocker, right, Jerry Jones? No way you're going to do that, because then that would admit you made mistakes as a GM. We know you're not going to do that, right? So the Dallas Cowboys, guys, one frustrating year. They finish off the year with a record of 7-10 compared to the last 3 years with 12-win seasons, of course, under Mike McCarthy. Cowboys had some great years under this coach, but I think it's time now to move on from him, bring in a fresh face, a fresh set of ideas, maybe somebody a little bit more serious, but we all know Jerry Jones, right? He has to be the man. He has to be the one to say what goes and what comes. And Jerry Jones also was saying, I'm a winner. I'm a champion. I know what it takes to win. No, Jerry Jones, you're not a winner. Jimmy Johnson made you a winner, okay? And the reason why Barry Switzer won a Super Bowl is because Jimmy Johnson had built that team for Barry Switzer, and he was just placed in there and won a Super Bowl because we had nothing but Hall of Famers on that team. So Jerry Jones can call himself a winner all he wants. He has 3 Super Bowl rings, yes, but you know what? At the end of the day, we all know who got him those rings. And it was Jimmy Johnson and the team like Troy Aikman, obviously Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin. Barry Switzer wasn't the greatest coach, but he just had to do what he had to do to get them to the Super Bowl, and the players would have done the rest. But Jerry Jones is nothing short of spreading his ego around, telling everybody how he's the man, that he's the one doing all the decision-making, making all the right calls and stuff. Well, Jerry Jones, I got to say, man, this is one of the biggest off seasons you have had in a very, very, very long time. If this guy does not hire the right coach, then we are in for another season of probably a lot more disarray, guys. But let's see what happens, guys. The Cowboys have the talent. We have the players. We have the guys that can get the Cowboys far. The problem is Jerry Jones holds his team back like no tomorrow with the wrong hires, not signing enough players, not being aggressive enough in free agency. And this season showed it, guys. Jerry Jones, we all know it. Jerry Jones not being aggressive in free agency, not doing what he had to do to go get a running back. Look what the Saquon did for the Eagles. He completely changed their offense. So, and the Eagles aren't even playing him today, trying to get 2,000 yards rushing plus. So, you just see what a difference a running back makes. Cowboys need a number 2 receiver as well. They need to get another guy to help CeeDee Lamb out. Brandon Cooks has not been the guy. I'm sorry, he has not been. Not good enough by Brandon Cooks. He's been injured way too much, of course. Not been reliable enough. Get Dak back. Hopefully they get him a running back so they can help balance the offense enough. And like I said, get a new head coach, change the offense up a bit, make it a little bit more balanced, because it's been way too much West Coast offense under Mike McCarthy, way too much throwing. It's too much of one side or the other. It's enough, guys. It's time to start fresh again for the Dallas Cowboys. Thank God this season's over, guys, because it was a difficult one. I think we could all agree it was a tough watch this year, multiple times this year. After Dak got hurt, we all knew it was a washed year. But to see the Cowboys battle and almost make the playoffs, man, it would have been a disaster if they made the playoffs, guys. But now the season's over. It's time to focus on the offseason, see what the Cowboys do with the coaching, see what they do at the draft. Let's see if the Cowboys will finally be aggressive in the offseason, guys, in free agency. That would be very nice to see a change. And Jerry Jones being a more aggressive and hopefully getting this team competing again for the playoffs. And maybe, I'm being a little naive, of course, maybe trying to get to an NFC Championship game or a Super Bowl. But who knows, guys. But, guys, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for watching my videos this year. If any of you guys tuned into these Cowboy videos, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. It means a lot to me. I will be tuning in the offseason, of course, making videos as much as I can, talking about the Cowboys' moves this offseason, anything they do, trading, acquiring guys. I'll do as much as I can, but I just want to say, guys, thank you very much for watching this season, guys, of this Dallas Cowboys season with me. Even though it wasn't fun, guys, we did have some interesting moments in this season, guys. But, guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, click like if you like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Cowboys, go as always, guys. And remember, if you do not watch sports, you're a mort. Ciao, guys.